Okay, what is authoritarianism?
I would say that authoritarianism is trying to centralize as much power in like a structural sense into one part of the government, and then in a broader sense, it usually means undermining a bunch of liberal values that you would find, like, say, in the First
So then how is it that every part of the government which accrues more and more power to itself every single year aren't a bunch of fascists?
Because the government gaining power doesn't necessarily make it fascist. You could say there might be governmental overreach.
I'm
but
still not even sure what is fascist here, Destiny. What is fascist?
I said,
so Giovanni Gentili, we have definitely.
Andrew Wilson absolutely nukes Destiny out of orbit in a heated debate. Now, Destiny and Andrew Wilson engage in a heated debate where Wilson thoroughly challenges Destiny's views. And, you know, with the whole thing with this platform, there's been different like things that Destiny has been arguing with different people in this particular debate, but now we're seeing that Destiny is getting absolutely obliterated by Andrew Wilson. Okay, but when Wilson presses Destiny on his definition of fascism and authoritarianism, he turns Destiny's own definitions against them, particularly in relation to Trump's control over the military. Now, despite Destiny's attempts to counteract, Wilson undoubtedly gets the upper hand. So let's go ahead and watch this particular debate between Destiny and Andrew Wilson.
And authoritarianism.
Definitions of what fascism is. We have third partyists who are out there right now who are fascist. They claim Trump is a populist. Can you tell me why they're wrong and why you're right that he's a fascist?
Well, I would have to know their exact reasons for why they reject Trump being a fascist, but I would say that Trump is a fascist because I think he's an ultra-nationalist and an authoritarian.
These are your claims.
I'm not claiming anything that those people said. I've given you my definition for fascist. I gave the two parts. I can explain them what people want.
So let's start with ultra-authoritarian.
Well, I said ultra-nationalist and authoritarian.
What is ultra-nationalism?
So I think ultra-nationalism is when you engage in a hardcore protectionist ideology that usually involves shutting yourself out from the rest of the world. That could be in forms of international affairs like military conflicts, and it could be in the forms of ultra-protectionist in terms of trade and shutting down things like immigration in order to protect your own native peoples. So, oftentimes there's a heavily racialized element, but it might not have to be.
Okay, well, Donald Trump, you're not saying has a heavy racialized element, are you?
I'm ambivalent. I don't really care on that much. I think that he qualifies or satisfies the term without that. But
okay, so let's dive into this real quick.
Just a quick one, guys. If you do want to.
Now, the interesting part about this is that, you know, Destiny is basically being like showed, like he's basically showing that, you know, he has his own definition of what was being asked and everything, but it's like basically, you know, the issue with it is that it's not necessarily holding up. Now, the fact of the matter is that he's being asked these questions, calmly answering them, and Destiny maybe answer these questions well, but what's is going to go ahead and tell him a new one?
He a fascist?
No.
Well, I'm still confused as to what makes Trump a fascist.
That's because I had two parts of that, and you missed the authoritarian one. What you described there before was just like protection.
Well, when you said authoritarian, what is he doing, which is accumulating all power to himself?
So he's trying to centralize power in the executive branch of the government, and specifically in the presidential part of the government, of the executive branch.
How?
How Donald Trump thinks that he should be able to unilaterally make decisions up and down all of the different departments and offices that exist in the executive branch.
Presidents use executive orders all the time.
That's not what an executive order is.
Presidents unilaterally make decisions all the time.
No, they don't?
Yes, they do.
No, they
do. They use executive orders all the time.
An executive order doesn't mean that you are taking power away from the departments and offices that have been created.
Right, so where's the fascism here?
Would you like me to give you specific examples?
Yes, give me the specific example.
Sure. So when Donald Trump didn't like the answer that he was getting from his attorney general because he was trying to direct the Department of Justice to do investigations or to fabricate claims, that would be an example of trying to centralize power just to the president, because he's undermining his own department that's been created for him, that's supposed to have some level of independence, that's tasked with doing investigations.
Let me ask you a question. Is the president of the United States the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the United States?
I believe so.
You believe so?
Wait, he believes so? He believes so? Destiny. No, Destiny. Destiny. Commander-in-chief, it literally means that he actually, you know, is the leader of the military. Okay, that's basic civil social studies lesson right there. Okay, you know what? I guarantee you all that Andrew Wilson is going to give a better answer than response to what I just said. Let's go ahead and get right back into it.
Something's changed.
Do they have control of the entire military apparatus essentially as the commander-in-chief?
As the commander-in-chief, yes.
Yeah. Is that fascist?
No.
So they have unilateral, basically almost unilateral control by your own metrics of the most mighty military on planet Earth. That's not accumulating enough power, centralized control to one person. It's the fact that he tried to slay some fucking electors. Really?
So the president being the commander-in-chief is specifically laid out in the Constitution. That's an authority granted to him. I don't know what's fascist about that.
Well, because you
from the
said it's
inception of the
ultra
country.
power. It's this idea of
I
having,
didn't say anything about
central
the
power.
military.
If you have the central
I
power,
didn't ever bring that up for him. But
if you have the central power
Yeah.
of the most mighty military on planet Earth and the codes to the largest nuclear armament on planet Earth, you already have all of the central power, bro.
really,
Yeah.
how do the nuclear codes help you
Yeah.
direct your Department of Justice?
Okay, I'm sorry. Is he the commander-in-chief of the United States Armed Forces?
Are you just arguing that he's the commander? I already agree with you. I don't know why you keep arguing.
What I'm
this.
arguing to you is
I'm
that
asking you,
it
how does the
sounds to
commander-in-chief
me-
use the
you don't get
military
to ask
to
me.
make?
It's your
Well, I
claim.
can
I'm
ask whatever
asking
you
you
want.
about your claim,
So
and your claim is
how does that make
he's a
him control the
fascist.
DOJ? How does the military help him control the
So
DOJ?
back up. That is the most powerful position I can think of for you to be in, period. How could
That's
you
a powerful
accumulate-
position.
what
That's a
more-
powerful-
What more accumulation of power would you want for a fascist dictator?
Gotcha. Okay, so that's powerful in that you controlled the military. That's it. That's just control of the military.
Yeah.
For the FBI coming to your house to arrest you, for the DOJ filing charges
said the
against
military
you,
to
for
do
the
it.
EPA, no, the president doesn't do that.
He
I don't know if
could.
the, no, I
He's
don't believe
the
that he can. I don't believe you can. I don't think that you can deploy the
can't-
military to our.
Well, it seems to me that Destiny is not going to understand basic civics lessons and stuff, especially when it comes to the different powers that federal government have, including the presidency. But the fact of the matter is, Donald Trump. Well, we all know he's not a fascist and stuff. I mean, Donald Trump, Trump would never actually have anything made about him when it comes to military conflict or anything like that. And the fact of the matter is, it seems to me that Destiny doesn't really understand basic social studies. I mean, let's break it down. We got a system of checks and balances too, where the government, you have different parties or entities, if you will, that don't make the final say so. I mean, yes, the president does have authorization of the military, but at the same time, president still got to go to the Congress. But the fact of the matter is, Trump as president doesn't really make is not really a fascist. If anything, like any decisions, like kind of like what Bush did back then with the Iraq War and Afghanistan War, as well as what Obama did with ISIS, constantly bombing them and everything, those were made outright by the decisions by the president and stuff. They still had to go through Congress. But the fact of the matter is, Trump never actually got into any kind of conflict or was really getting into any conflict with other nations. I mean, that's a point that Destiny didn't really often has forgotten. But the fact of the matter is that Andrew Wilson actually slammed him, not by different viewpoints and stuff, but and not only with basic facts, but he also slammed Destiny with basically asking questions. Okay. In other words, he went along the Plato/Socrates route of trying to get people to think for themselves and everything. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you may have this particular topic. If you enjoyed what I shared in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share this video far wide across social media. And if you have done so already, you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications so that way you be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.